Hey, how's it going this morning? Holy shit. Thank goodness that heat wave broke. We did 11 days of just crazy weather. We peaked on Tuesday, I think it was the 29th of June, hit 45 at our place. It's the same day that I fell down and bonked my head saving that chicken. But yeah, head's healed up pretty good as you can see, and thank you very much for your concern. We're not doing the steering wheel cam today simply because we're on a bit of a bumpier road and this would be dancing all over. So you guys are actually in the gimbal and we are good. Just want to say, hey, belated Happy Canada Day to all those folks out there that celebrate that kind of nonsense. Since our country was founded on, whoa, almost ate the joint. Basically colonialism and taking indigenous peoples and misplacing them, something that we folks do all over the world. I'm not a big fan of Canada Day, and you can go into my playlist. I'll put some links at the end of this video, give you my opinion on Remembrance Day, because I'm not a big fan of celebrating that or giving thanks for that, because they're basically taking a certain demographic of our society and using them as fodder for the war machine. And the war machine is nothing but the military-industrial complex that just is all about making money. Anyways, we're not here for that today. We are here to talk about what's currently going on. The current distraction up here in Doe, Canada. It's not the Delta variant. It's not this. It's not that. We all know what's going on in that regard. But we also know that the powers that be like to distract us. They like to keep us at odds with one another. Because a nation divided has no strength within its ranks. United we stand, and divided we will fall. But I digress. You may have heard about the mass graves of Indigenous children that are being found in certain areas of BC. That is an injustice. That is a huge injustice, and that is a reflection of the relationship between religion and politics and corporate entities, because this all manifests itself under colonialism once upon a time, but it continued into the 20th century, almost into the 21st century, because our beloved Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has publicly gone on record telling the Pope that he should get his ass over here to Canada and say sorry to all those fucking native cultures that the church has screwed over the decades. History shows that the Catholic Church has done some fucking hanky shit around the world and continues to do so on a regular basis. What about the Jesuits? What's their history like? Weren't they going into different cultures around the world and fucking them over? Sounds like when governments want to go someplace and instill democracy, fairness, human rights. Sounds like a fucking scam. Anyway, it is a travesty that there's almost a genocidal effort against Indigenous cultures, specifically in this country, and that's how come I'm not a big fan of fucking Doe, Canada, my home and sold out land, tabernacle, eh? So, Justin is talking to the Pope saying, hey dude, you should come on over here and say sorry and shit. And kind of leaving out a little bit of something that makes a lot of sense to me. And what that would be the fact that from the late 60s, I think it was 1968, up until the 70s, and then for a fart in the 80s, Justin's dad, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, was the Prime Minister of Canada as well. And under Pierre Elliott Trudeau, when he was Prime Minister, a lot of these residential schools were still running well into the 70s. It wasn't like Pierre was not cognizant of what was going on, because he had this other guy from La Belle Province of Quebec. This guy's name is Jean Chrétien. Jean Chrétien just happened to be under Trudeau, Minister of Indian Affairs. Oh, fun fact for you kids out there. Jean Chrétien also became Prime Minister of Canada in the later 80s, early 90s for a while. Yeah. So the government's culpable. The government's culpable. But the whole noise-making theme going on right now is we've got a Orange Indigenous Day. We've got to make awareness of the Orange people getting fucking slaughtered and killed, and Well, yeah, matter of factly, that happens. That happens a lot. And that happens everywhere around the globe. The current theme in Canada is the vilification of white culture, obviously, cancel culture, obviously, as well as the vilification of church. Because once upon a time, when they separated church and state, took prayer out of school, well, that was part of the parcel of our fucking road to hell, so to speak. Again, I have empathy towards Indigenous cultures around the world, not just here in Canada, that have suffered the atrocities of governments and corporations. Specifically in Canada, the Canadian federal government, the provincial governments, as well as the corporate entity of the RCMP and the military are all culpable and should be held responsible for what happened to Indigenous cultures in this particular fucking country. I can't speak what's going on for you, but I know what's going on in my area. I know what's transpiring. I know the mindset. You know, it's not folklore when you talk about once upon a time in the 1800s that the French or the British were here and they gave fucking shit to the Indians, they gave shit to the natives that fucked them up. I've said it before. It seems that Indigenous cultures, it appears, have some sort of genetic marker in them that makes them more predisposed to suffer addictions. And corporations, governments, think tanks, what have you, they know this. In this particular country, they talk about FAS, fetal alcohol syndrome. That is almost a hereditary thing that is passed on from one generation to the other. Native cultures in this country did not suffer from that before the introduction of Europeans and booze. I don't know, conspiracy theory? Maybe. I'm not quite sure, but what do I know? I know my doobie keeps going out because I'm talking it out. And I got this happening. One hand's on the gimbal, one hand's on my doobie, and as you can see, I'm steering. It's cruise control, man. I got cruise control on. You just set it and forget it. It's one of those new Tesla vehicles. Anyway, not to make light of the situation, but if you know, and you know, so don't be distracted by the bullshit that is patriotism, and whatever, you know, insert your country's name here, because it's bullshit. A couple of things that are going on right now is they're vilifying Canadians on a global stage as being fucking racist. Well, you find racism everywhere. The bullshit of cancel culture and the bullshit of white privilege is along the same lines as fucking toxic masculinity. It's the fracturing of our society. We're being rewired. We literally have become Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. And if you haven't read that, or you don't know what that's about, check it out. But anyways, I gotta get on with my day. Thank you for your time while I opine. Peace, love, and blessings. It's cool to all of you. All right.